to the entertainment show here on the eLife Media Network. I am honored to be a part of such a fantastic enterprise that we're tapping into resource, we're tapping into entertainment, we're tapping into personalities, and today is no different in that we are blessed to have in the studio with us none other than, we can't say take two, right? You gotta say take six, two members of the Take Six organization. And for those of you all who remember, you know, back in the day, you know, one of the first a cappella groups that I knew of that was in my age group, you know, to come out and sing, it was amazing. And also in the studio with me is my co-host, Brother Frank Dent. But I'm just enamored and excited that we have the opportunity to share with our listening audience, our public, two figures that I grew up listening to and was proud to listen to. You know,
Appreciate
proud
that.
to listen to. Frank, I'm going to let you
cool is
introduce our guests as we jump into our program today.
Well, welcome everyone. Again, it's an honor and a privilege to have these two individuals representing the esteemed vocal a cappella group Take Six. We have Claude McKnight and Mark Kibble. I'm just going to let them kind of introduce themselves, tell the audience what's going on, what they're doing in the DC area, and so right now I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, hey, I'm Claude. I started this outfit many, many years ago at Oakwood University. Used to be called Oakwood College back in the day. Started as a freshman. This guy, Mark Kibble, comes in, becomes our fifth member, becomes the arranger, and I'll let him talk in a minute, but I'm going to, pump him up right quick.
Set it up.
That's right. We were doing our thing, pretty much barbershop style quartet stuff at the time. Mark comes in and changes everything from the ground floor. Basically gives us the jazz element, gives us all the other gospel element and everything else. So, basically became the group from the mind of Mark Kibble.
Wow. That's what's up. And, I was talking to Mark earlier. I want you to talk too, Mark, but I was talking to Mark because you all went to school with my classmates. And I went to DuPont Park here in the D.C. metropolitan area. So you all went to school with my classmates. And, I'm interested to find out whether you all connected with those folks. But go ahead, Mark. You tell us.
Oh yeah. We the thing that set us apart was that we kind of established our own identity with a new sound.
Yep.
We didn't realize how big of an identity it was going to be at the time. We were just doing something that we love to do, doing things differently than what everybody else had been doing. And that's what happened there when I joined the group and brought in the likes of Mervyn Warren. We started to form a sound, and even though that sound, I have to say, was pretty much rejected by that school's administration.
We were outcast.
The outcast. We only got to sing, on the outskirts of the
uptown.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Uptown. Right. To this day, we have still not sung in the synagogue there.
Wow.
At that church. We still have not, but they declared that they're going to have us. But we practiced for the first 7 years. We practiced there, and it was after that, and we had member changes. Even Claude left the group for a little while to go and pursue.
I did.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did. He was for some of those first.
It's
few
not
years,
like I left the group. I was just kind of,
He just went missing.
I went missing.
He went missing. But we waited because we knew the talent that he brought. He had a signature top voice sound.
And they're still trying to replace me.
No, we can't. We realize we can't. There's no replacement. So, it was 7 years later that we did a showcase in Nashville, Tennessee, and invited a bunch of Christian labels, which just a few showed up and left quickly. And it was Jim Ed Norman brought the Warner country music division and offered us a deal, not knowing what he was going to do with us. Wow. He gave us the opportunity to get into the studio, do a project, put it out there, and next thing you know, we're standing like deer in headlights at the Grammys.
Wow.
So, it's a pretty amazing story, but we know that God's hand was in it all.
Absolutely. Now let me drive in a little bit, because I told you that I know Janice. Janice and Timmy is her name now. Janice Chandler, and there were a couple
Beast.
other people. There was Beverly Rivers. You know
Beast.
that name?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
you all,
Family.
Our families have been very, very close for many years.
Oh, that's
By
what's
the
up.
way, I don't know if the audience knows, but Frank, that's first cousin for me.
Frank,
We
first
are-
cousin.
We are cousins.
First cousin.
That's what's up.
blood right there. Blood.
And we're in the
Your
studio
blood,
today
yes.
with Take 6.
One third of.
1/3 of Take 6 or Take 2. But no, and again, it's an honor for us to be in the studio with you. And this is your new album cover that you've just released recently?
Yes.
Or is it being released?
End of March.
End of March.
Yeah, it's called Believe.
Okay.
We really love it. It's been a labor of love, and in fact, it's the first album that we've done since probably the first one where we were all pretty much in the same room.
Right.
You know, writing songs and producing
okay.
and throwing ideas out there. So it's just like old days.
Now, how do you all do that? Because now you've got families, you've ventured out, you live in different places. How do you all get back together long enough to be able to produce, a CD?
It's difficult on the real, because anytime we move, it costs money.
Sure.
We gotta, when we come together to perform, there's an expense attached, and at least we get the benefit of, doing the concert and making money in order to pay for some of that expense. But when you do an album, it has to come out your back pocket,
Understood.
and you have to afford the time. And there's nothing like being able to get together, like what Claude just said. All in the same room, throwing ideas out, writing together, bouncing the musical and lyrical ideas off of each other. What do we want to say? So that's what's kind of special about this project. We had a chance to do that and write from the heart for the first time in a long time.
And there's immediacy with all being in the same room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than throwing ideas around on the phone or Skype or sending files back and forth. When you're sitting in the room and you get to immediately say to each other, I like that, or I don't like that, or how about this? And next thing you know, it morphs into something else. And
That's right.
So
That's
it's a
right.
really creative experience.
Now, all of you all musicians in your other life, or have you all ventured out and somebody's in IT, somebody's a fireman,
What
somebody's
other life?
I'm sorry.
There is no.
There's no other life.
other life. You have another life outside of this?
This is the
This
afterlife.
is. He said after. After. No, we ain't there yet.
No, for us, we all do not only Take 6, but everybody produces and writes and does other stuff. And,
Okay.
Because all of the creativity that's in this group may not be strictly for this group.
Understood.
I'm with you. I'm with
So
you.
you try to
That's
find
right.
outlets that scratch that itch that you may have
There we go.
in other ways.
And I know a little
yes.
bit about that because I spent 10 years at DuPont Park, so I don't wear jewelry today. There's a whole lot of things that it influenced me to do or not to do. And how were you able to then put something together? Although you did say it wasn't allowed at Oakwood, but how were you able to put something together that was acceptable in both, without
Both worlds.
both worlds without not being appealing enough to the general public, while at the same time not offending the folk that are.
You know what? There wasn't a conscious decision. We
Oh,
just did
okay.
what we love to do.
That's what's up.
I think that's what, we're always asked, what kind of advice do you have for up and coming musicians and stuff? I just said, follow your passion.
There we go.
Be authentic with what it is you do and love and be, and it will find an audience.
That's
Great.
right.
And that's what happened for us. It found an audience, and people who supposedly didn't like it at first, came on board, and then other people were like, I don't know what this is, but I love it, and you just keep doing it.
Because there was nothing wrong. You couldn't find your music was and is
Pure.
still it's timeless,
Pure.
and that you can still
we
listen.
thank
To it. You
you.
turn it up when it comes on. It's, oh man, I remember when I was in my little Vega back in the day, listening to that.
Vega. I forgot that car name. That's all.
Wow.
Wow.
Let me-
Wow.
let me-
Vega.
Let me ask this
Gotta look that
question
up.
because I think that it's actually amazing the amount of time that you all have spent in the music industry, and you have maintained a level of success that most artists probably experience maybe for like a month, maybe a year. And I think a lot of people don't really, they don't understand how long that you've been doing this at a level of success. How how have you been able to accomplish this? Because really, and I think because I'm feeling like this new energy off this new album, and I think it has a lot to do with you all kind of realize like we've been doing this and we're still successful. Like the blessing is still on us. How have you been able to maintain that?
Well, first of all, we appreciate that.
Yes,
It's
thank
always
you.
good to hear people say that they are experiencing a new energy from us. For us, we're trying to push each other. I think that there is a lot of creativity in this group, and so we don't rest on our laurels. And we're always trying to push forward, even if that means, even on this new album, it's a lot simpler than anything we've ever done, but there's an energy to it that is a lot different from anything that we've done. So I think even in that, there's a creativity that you harness and you say, you know what, I don't really know where we're going. Let's just keep moving forward. And that's how we approached this. And with the producer that we had, he had a really great idea of what he wanted to see us do. And so we trusted that process. And I think that when you have a lot of creative people in the room and somebody with an acute vision, you really step up to the plate.
Nice.
What's one of the songs off your most recent album that you want to bring attention to, you want to highlight, you want to talk about? We want to see whether we might be able to cue it up and let people hear that energy after you've explained what it is that went into it. Which one would that be?
Probably the first single. It's called When Angels Cry. And it's a song that, again, we sat around and we were looking at everything that was going on in the world, church bombings and just the way we treat each other. And it was like, you know what, I bet the angels are crying seeing this. And what can we do to make things better? It all starts with us, with one person, and just putting it out there and showing love and being love. And so that was the impetus for that song. So I think it would be a really great song to share with your listeners.
Especially right now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Especially right now.
Especially right now.
And you all, you were just talking, Frank, you were talking about, going through all of these years. You're talking about you all came out, in the 80s?
That's right.
Well, professionally, our first album came out in 88, but we started, back in 1980.
Yeah. And what do you think about what has happened in the music industry? We look up today and, this stuff that we're listening to now that we're looking at in videos that you couldn't have imagined. Especially me coming up in a Seventh-day Adventist church and not seeing music or listening to music at all. It's what do you all think about that? And are we beginning to go in a good direction, or how are we looking?
Well, I tell you what, things have changed so drastically. They changed in the last 10 years. So can you imagine 35 years?
Right. All
those things that we've seen. We've seen the entire industry change, the way that we record, what we have available to us. Back when we started, you didn't even have cell phones. There was no such thing.
Right. Good point.
You just so now you're flooded with so much. You're flooded with instant gratification.
Right.
Instant, we can look at each other when we talk on the phone. So now there's so many things out there that are available to us. It's time for us to realize we're also realizing that something is going missing. Obviously, love is not as prominent as it was maybe back in the day, and it's becoming less. That's a sign of the times, of course, but that's exactly what's happening. So if there's anything that we need to have a wake-up call to, it is the fact that we need to promote God's love, promote love each other. In fact, that's how Christ says that all men will be drawn unto. When you lift him up, when you lift love up, when you love first, when you meet the need, now you're actually drawing people and pointing people to where the true love comes from, and that is Jesus Christ.
And when love grows cold,
that's
real
right.
problem.
Iniquity abounds.
That's right.
That's the expression.
There you
when
go.
Love grows cold, iniquity abounds, and we can see that. That's real. And what we're going to do, again, we want to let you all know who we have in the studio in case you all are, looking at an old CD and you're like, wait a minute, that looks like, I don't know.
Kind of looks like.
You know, it's like looking at me from 1980 something. It's like if he could cut off all the gray hair, I'd recognize him. Yeah, if we could. We've got Take Six in the studio here at eLife Media, and we are having a conversation. We're actually gonna go to the break listening to the song that you just mentioned. I'm gonna see whether I'm creative enough to make this happen while I'm still talking and working all of this through.
You got it.
I got it. And we're going to come back with more conversation. Also, for those of you in the listening audience who'd like to chime in, ask a question, or make a comment, you know, share with us one of those moments that you had when you were in the audience and they were singing and you just, yeah. Okay, we're going to, you call in 240-455-5934. Again, 240-455-5934. We're going to be right back in just a moment. I'm not that creative.
I was walking down the road that leads to hope, where souls in desperation need to go. I see the glow, but something's wrong. It seems the light of love is gone. They've destroyed the place where children go to pray. Now I'm staring at the walls the fire's lit, casting shadows on the world that now exists. Now the church must live within. We can build these walls again, but for now I pray for mercy on our souls. Angels cry when innocence is shattered, and the love for your brother no longer matters. Now our faith is on the ground. The house of God is burning down, and we're standing in the ashes of our shame when angels cry. I'll be the first to extend my hand to you, and forgiveness will begin to heal our wounds. It's time to see this eye to eye, brown or yellow, black or white. From these burning embers we can rise again. Oh, angels cry when innocence is shattered, and the love for your brother no longer matters. Now our faith is on the ground. The house of God is burning down, and we're standing in the ashes of our shame when angels cry. Ooh, hey. Can we try to hear the pain when angels cry? 'Cause only love can lead to change. Try to hear the pain when angels cry. Oh, when angels cry. Oh.
All right. Try this again. All right, we're back in the studio. here at E-Life Media, and I'm trying to do this, and I just did. And we're interviewing two members of, or 1/3 of Take Six, and it is monumental for us and really sentimental for me. Am I hearing that because that's playing here? It's because I'm not an engineer. But it was still Take Six, though. It was in the fam.
That's right.
It was in the fam. But we actually have a caller on who has a question for us, and we've got a bunch of questions. You know, I know you guys are busy, and you're coming in town to do some things, but we want to talk about that. But we also want to allow our caller to call in. I mean, to ask their question or make their comment. Let's jump in here. Greg, are you there?
This is Brad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
We
Brad.
can hear you. What's going on, Brad?
Hey, it's Dr. Baruch, man. I just had to call in. I'm watching the show live right now, and I just wanted to say how awesome this is.
It is awesome.
Frank is there co-hosting. I co-host with Frank every Saturday night doing the shamanic flow sessions. And I just had to make a comment to the Take Six gentlemen, man. I still have your album right now to this point in my CD player in my car. The first one, the Take Six 1988 release.
Bless you, brother.
10 track.
Amen.
That is a Sabbath staple, man. I can always go to that album and just relax and let it run from song 1 to 10, and it's just a blessing. It's still a blessing to this day.
Thank
Glad
you so
you can
much,
still
brother.
enjoy it, bro.
Yeah, that's
It's
what's
It's a
up.
big blessing.
It's awesome to just see how God is still using you brothers even after all this time. And I remark back to what was said before about, you know, the success that you guys are experiencing and the longevity, because God's hand is still on you guys. You're still letting them lead, man. So I just want to encourage you and say that I'm praying for you brothers, man. It's just an awesome thing to see how God is moving in these last days. It's fantastic.
I
so
appreciate
much.
that. Thank you very much,
Great.
especially for your prayers.
Great.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you very much, Brad.
All right,
Appreciate it.
thanks. Talk to y'all later.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man.
Thank you. And indeed, anybody else that wants to call in, 240-455-5934. 240-455-5934. If you want to ask the two members of Take Six a question, Brother Claude and Brother Mark, or if you have a comment, or, you know, again, one of those, like the brother said, you know, and I can remember, you know, there are times when your music will come on and it will immediately take me back to the moment when I used to listen to the music, you know,
Yes.
down in Rock Creek
Yes.
Park somewhere, and I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, man, I remember being back in that moment. And it's interesting how music has that power, you know. But just listening to our brother Brad talk about the CD and the CD player, you know, that's a big deal in today's world, because now you don't get the music just on CD players. You get it out on the internet, you get it on YouTube, you get it out all these different places. How do we, as your customers, and I can relate to it because I'm in business, how do we support you? How do we drive our genuine desire to see to it that you're successful, because we like the product that you're producing, we want you to do more? How do we do that?
You know, I like that. I like that. You know, I would say, you know, if you enjoy what it is you know about Take Six, and you've heard the new album, or you want to hear the new album, try and, you know, go online. If that's the easiest way for you to get it, go to iTunes. You can find Believe there. Buy the album.
Buy the album.
You know,
say
send
it again. Buy the album.
Yeah.
Buy the album. Or, you know, you can stream the album, but do it in a way that you know, helps out the artist.
That's right.
You know, we're living in an age now where, you know, I like to call it kind of the wild, wild west when it comes to the music industry. And nobody really has it figured out.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm an artist and I want to get paid for all the things I do, but I understand that with technology, even myself, you know, the easiest way we can get things is the way we typically do so.
Right. The slick way.
And, you know, if that means getting it for free, a lot of people will do that. We're just asking if you enjoy it, go ahead and buy it and tell other people about it, because word of mouth is what really helps artists these days as well.
Yeah.
You know, share it with other people, tell them about it. Go on your social media, talk about it. You heard the new Take Six album, go check it out. Again, like I said, iTunes, you can buy the physical copy at Walmart.
Nice,
You know, they've
nice.
done 2 or 3 orders there, and that's a big deal these days.
Good.
Because not a lot of people are buying physical CDs, but those who still go out, Walmart's a great place to buy it. You can order it on Amazon and have it, delivered right to your house.
Nice.
Go on our social media. We're at Take Six Official on Twitter, or Take Six Official on Facebook and Instagram. Send us messages, or like some of our comments and stuff, or start a thread there. We like to be involved with our fans.
Nice.
And I think that's how you do it: fan engagement and keeping people up on what's going on.
That's right. More than anything else, if you like what you hear, if something touches your soul, don't just keep it to yourself.
Good point.
Share
Good
it with
point.
somebody.
Good point.
Tell somebody how excited it made you feel, what it did for you, because that's in essence what we want to do. We want to share and spread whatever that goodness that God gave you through our music
Right.
to somebody else. And it spreads like wildfire, but that's exactly what needs to happen.
Yep.
So, when they get excited about it, they're going to say, you know what, I not only want to listen to it by download, I want to have a physical product to look at.
No, I want you to perform in my restaurant this weekend. How
Yeah,
about that?
see?
Let's just go ahead and let me stroke the check.
That's right. I like that.
Because I know that's important.
When you show checks, you get all kinds of things.
Well, we got to talk about that. I got a little intimate restaurant environment. We set it up, and the good thing about it is you all know something about eating. Well, maybe not vegan, but vegetarian.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we've done a lot of that.
Say it, Claude. Say it, Claude. Claude McKnight, right here. I want you to say what you know about veganism. Go.
What I know about
Go.
vegetarianism is when I was at Oakwood.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Loma Linda.
Those 3 squares every day
ain't
from the
vegan.
cafeteria.
That ain't vegan.
That ain't vegan. I know it ain't vegan, but it's certainly vegetarian.
Definitely.
Yeah, actually, my brother Joey is probably the closest to being vegan. I don't think he's actually vegan, but he's definitely a health nut.
Sure.
And sticks pretty closely to that. Now Claude, I have to say, the oldest, most ancient figure in this group is one of the most. He is
Muscle
way
bound.
on being physically fit.
Yes.
He's got this big.
Look at that. Look at those
there it is,
pythons.
there it is.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's got this fit,
get a zoom
fit
in,
at
baby.
59.
That's all me.
Can we get a zoom in?
Fit at 59 kind of thing
53,
going
my
on,
friend.
man.
you don't look a day over 59.
So basically,
Right.
yeah, we are so all about health. We are all about that because that's actually a part of what it is that we do, and part of how we can stay out there and do what we do well.
That's it.
Because it's about being physically fit. It's about staying healthy. It's about getting rest at night
Yeah.
Oh,
and
my
drinking
goodness.
plenty of water.
No,
Yep.
Preach.
All that stuff. That's what it's all about.
Well, I think
His
what you're
restaurant,
offering
yeah.
is an alternative sound. And I say it's alternative only because what you all have produced is probably what we did 100 years ago on the regular.
Yes.
This was what we were producing. And you now are an alternative to what is out there. And I feel the same way in the food industry, is that I'm offering an alternative, even though this is what we did 100 years ago. Now it has become the alternative because the mainstream has bought in on quick, fast, extreme, all the different dynamics of music and food. It's all content at the end of the day. And we look up today, and your content has maintained a consistency. You haven't fallen off. I don't even see you getting close to the edge. I don't know.
Not at all.
You've maintained that consistency, and we appreciate that, because if everybody goes to the middle, then there's no diversity.
Right.
Yeah.
And I appreciate being able to listen to you and know that I'm gonna get it, and know that I can, Gramps can be in the car, and moms and children and whomever else, and I know I ain't gonna have to turn it down or explain nothing at the end of the song, right? But yet it's still gonna be about life, and it's still gonna be about what we're doing, and the great sound and the wisdom that y'all playing around in the studio.
Hey, it's just more broadcast, more
That's right.
broadcast.
That's why we're giving you some more juice. up
More-
there.
You know
more
what?
juice,
You know
more
what-
juice.
What am I
Periscope,
saying? You're
bro.
absolutely right.
Periscope.
Lifemedia.net.
Exactly.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
right. Tune in.
There you go.
Look at that.
Say
Look
it.
at
Say
that.
it. Say
up
it.
there.
Come on.
Tune in to eLife. Oh, you asking me that?
I
Tune
know.
in to the eLife Media Network at
That's right.
elifemedia.net. Download the app on your iPhone or on your Google Play Android app. We also have 2 other stations that we operate. One of them is eLife GoGo. What y'all know about that?
Hey.
What?
That's
Don't
strong.
worry about it.
That's strong. Play us over there too. We got some of that for you.
Okay. And we have eLife Gospel. So we need to get some of that content
know
of
we got
yours
that.
and push that out on our eLife 24-hour eLife gospel station that we broadcast that kind of content, so that for that person that wants to roll, and when they on the road and they doing their thing, that's all they want to listen to. We got it for you.
He said that is DC.
Yeah.
Go
All
is
DC.
DC. Look at that.
DC.
He ain't playing.
Now, I ain't playing,
He
brother.
ain't
I'm Southeast.
Left playing on the playground.
Yes, sir.
Now let me ask this question. A lot of people, they look at recording artists and they see the airplanes, the hotels, the per diems, the microphones, the stages,
They do.
and they're like, "Oh man, I'm gonna do that," and they're like, "I'm gonna just tomorrow, I'm gonna start doing that."
Sure.
But they don't really know.
No, they do not.
Just let the people know the work, the getting up at 2 a.m. to catch a red eye.
You sound like you know what you're talking
Claude
about.
just said he came off on a red eye, and then
yeah.
then you got to land, you got to go perform, you got interviews,
Boy,
then you got to.
Were you on our last tour? Frank, you been shadowing us.
I've been shadowing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal.
Let them know the work that it takes, man,
It's
because
a
you all
lot
have
of
done this
work.
for a long time.
Right. It's just like when you see professional athletes or anybody doing their thing, you're only getting to see the game.
That's it.
When you come to the concert, you get to see the concert. You don't see all of the practice. You don't see all of the travel that goes into it and all the blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or that we hate it, because we love doing what we do.
Sure.
But we'll be in Europe sometimes. You're taking 2-3 flights a day to do a sound check, get a couple hours of sleep to be on that night.
Wow.
And the audience, they don't care that you took all those flights or that you're tired or whatever. They paid good money to come and see you give 100%. So, it's not easy. But again, to tie it all back together, when you have a passion for what you're doing,
Sure.
you get on stage and all that tiredness goes away.
Nice.
And we're able to put our arms around each other, literally and figuratively, and just, be blessed and do what God has given us to do.
That's what's up. One of the things that I recognize as a business owner is I'm not 25 anymore. I can't take the risks that I could take at
You're
25. No, can't do it. Not anymore. It's
Wow.
crazy, isn't it? You get to a certain point, you start counting your money and counting your years, and you're like, well, wait a minute, my money's gonna run out. So I got to make sure I got enough money to last, so I don't run out. And so a decision that I made, and I'm just curious as to whether that's something that you're also dealing with, and that is, are you looking at collaboration with other artists? Are you looking at collaboration as a means to staying, to expanding your brand? To it's like now with the camera and on the phone, you're now exposing us to people that wouldn't otherwise know us, and likewise we're doing the same thing. That is collaboration in your future, or do you all are you all in a position where you can just ride this out solo? Take Six gonna do it by themselves.
Oh no, collaboration is always an option, and we loved doing that. That's part of the ministry of what we're doing, sharing what we have with other artists. And there's no better way to do it than we actually combine the talents that we have.
Nice.
And get out there and fellowship with people that normally would you might not ever listen to. We'll find them and we'll find the common ground and do something really special. We've done that over the years, and those have presented some of the best moments of our career.
Nice,
When we were able to do stuff like that. So yes, we definitely plan on doing that. But not only that, we look for other streams of income as well. Like we were saying when we first started this conversation, we do other things that are connected to what we do, but
Right.
outside of what we do. I do outside production. Claude does all kinds of things. Teaching voice and everybody has their thing, but it's all interconnected to what we do.
Nice.
And everything that we touch on the outside somehow brings something back to the whole.
Right.
So
Take Six is the foundation.
Yes,
That's the springboard for all the other things we do.
Nice.
And it's the blessing that allows us to go out there and put our tentacles, in everything else. So we're so blessed and so happy to still be viable and relevant as far as Take Six is concerned.
Yeah, and
Well, nobody's really competing with y'all, so I don't.
Yeah.
That's kind of a given.
Yeah.
Do y'all know that though?
No.
Well, we look at it this way.
I mean, there's similar groups.
Sure.
And I've had this conversation with people. There's groups that do the acapella thing, but you all have something that's just unique. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, we do. But that's just because we allow, we've always been us.
Right.
We allow what God has given us to come out in the way that we do it.
Got you.
And if that's special enough, it's giving us a lifetime career. So, we're very grateful for that. And thanks for noticing.
Yeah, I wanna just say something because Mark made the comment that that the group is definitely wants to. You made the comment if you had a good experience or whatever. You like when individuals interact and let you know, man. And I think more of that needs to be done because, you're my older cousin. And I'm gonna just say, my generation, like Take Six, was like our backbone. Like that was a foundation. Like in all Adventist school dorm rooms, Take Six songs.
I was at Lincoln University, brother. I was listening to Take Six.
I mean, and so I definitely think that that's probably some sort of a movement in terms of, because here's what I know. I know that those memories are golden, right? And it's like, if you don't know that, there's a guy that was in his dorm room and, he just broke up with his girl and he put on the song and it allowed him to feel peaceful. If you don't know that, then, that information it has to find its way to you. So, and I don't know if you remember, but that's why I talked about a reality TV show.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because these are upstanding, good-looking guys who are like, kings of their industry. Why, I think people would love to see that.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I know I would.
Is a reality TV show in your future?
Ooh.
That would put all y'all together every week, right?
It needs to be.
One of the things that I started working on a couple of years ago was a show idea called, what was the show idea, Mark?
Was it Claw's Guns?
No, not that. Well, I'm drawing a blank right now. But it's basically about music groups that have been together and the trials and tribulations that they've gone through, how they've come through.
Sure.
And to have, former members and people who wanted to be in the group.
I would
just
love to watch
come and
that
sit
show.
around the round table and not have, like a behind the music thing where somebody else is putting this together, but to have all of these people in the room together. It's called group therapy.
Yeah.
And you work out your differences right there.
Hey.
Are you still going to do
with
it,
the
Claude?
mediator. Absolutely.
Well, you know what?
So we have Merv back and Cedric back and Eric Green and my brother Freddie.
Let's do it.
Keith Pascal.
Pastor Pascal.
What was our baritone? Jerry Hutchinson.
Oh, yeah. I just recently heard from
all
him.
the cats, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the change. So I would suspect then that the group has kind of changed over the years.
Yeah. Well,
Slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't mean that you all gained weight.
Even though some of us
some
did.
hair.
Some of us did.
That's
That's
a great hair.
okay. We own it.
They
That's a
gained
great
We
hair.
own it and getting rid of it too. But it's true. We had a former member. The first one to leave was Merv. He had another career in mind that he wanted to do, and he's obviously very successful at doing movie scores and what have you.
Okay.
He had a different calling, and my brother stepped in, Joey. And boy, did he step in. He brought something that the group absolutely needed, so it's still God's hand is on it. Cedric Dent, a stalwart in music arranging and producing and writing, had another calling as well to teach. And he teaches full-time at Middle Tennessee State University.
Nice.
And doing marvelous and great things, and we still connect with him to do some work. But bottom line is, we had to find somebody else to replace him. And boy, we got a beast in Christian Dentley,
Nice.
down in Orlando, Florida. So, God always has his hand on us. He brings the right people to us. It's amazing how he just inspires us, and we kind of know, okay, this is the one. This is where we go. This is what we need to do. So, yeah, we've changed a little bit. But, by God's grace, we got a lot of energy and a lot of things to do in the future, so we ain't close to stopping.
That's what's up. Who's been one of your greatest influences, maybe individually, but also as a group?
Wow. Probably for me, my big brother Stevie Wonder. I talked to him, quite a bit.
Great.
To see somebody like him who is an icon in the music world, period. And to know that somebody at that stature, his first and foremost calling is to give love to the world. I've seen that brother, shed tears over things that are going on. He's one of the most heartfelt people I know, and he from where he stands showed me how to share and impart that with other people, how to let love lead.
There we go.
So that that's probably one of the biggest influences for me.
Claude?
For me, aside from Stevie, probably Quincy Jones.
Nice.
Because from very early on in our career, he was someone who always gave back.
Nice.
He didn't sit back and say, I've been in this business 50, 60 years and I know everything. He shares. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he's always uplifting people. And that's what he's done for us from the times that we've worked with him and the times that he's just, I've gone over to his house and just hung out for hours.
Nice.
And just listened to stories, and you glean things from those stories, and then you're able to share those things with other people.
That's right.
I think that's what's great, is when you get great knowledge from people, being able to share that with others.
How did you manage the fame? You were young, attractive, living life by the book. How did you manage all of that and stay, I'm sure sometimes we step out of bounds, but that's a part of life. We fall down, but then we get up. That's the important thing, right?
You said it right there.
That, how did you manage that? How did that treat you? How did that treat your family?
I think one of the great things about this group is we hold each other accountable.
That's what's up.
We are family, and you're right. I mean, we've all gone through our rocky moments and our high moments, and you try to make sure that you don't let any one of us get too high or too low. And you always lift each other up.
That's it.
That's right.
Always, always, always. And then that way you can be transparent with each other, and that, what, I'm letting my fellas down. And in turn, I'm letting my family down. I'm letting my fans down.
Yeah.
Or any of that. And again, you just put your arms around each other and say, what, it's all right, brother. We're praying for you, and we're going to lift you up, and let's all move in the right direction.
That's what's up.
And that came with time and experience. We had to learn that. We went through some
good point.
really, really rough years where we had to learn how to stand in the gap for each other. There were times that we really did fight. We were at each other's throats at times, and it was very questionable what we're going to do for the future. But through God has a way of planting our feet under the ground. Humbling us so that we realize that this is not about an individual. It's not about me. It's not about any other one person. But the fact that collectively we are way bigger than any of us individually, even collectively, are, because God has got his thing in this. He's got his hand in this, and with him put in the forefront. All of our issues.
Right.
They can get put to the side and they get solved because he's in control.
And let me just give the group Take Six credit, because, like you said, with the fame and with the fights and so forth, credit must be given to the individuals because they listened to God. Because after that fight, or after that uncomfortable scenario, or after that blow up, that means that the members were listening to God to say, let me apologize, or let me humble myself, and let's keep this train moving.
That's right.
So
absolutely,
kudos to you all.
And you see the significance, because today, just imagine if that happened before you did anything. We wouldn't have had anything. We wouldn't have had Take Six. Right. And we would have never known that we didn't have Take Six because we never had it, Right. And that's important.
I would have known.
You would have known. Okay.
Like, where's that acapella group?
Right.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah. So it's and I would just have to ask, as you're going down, you're looking at the rest of your life. What's the plan? What's the future for Take Six?
The future, I think, includes continuing to record and everything. We may scale back some on the traveling part.
Okay.
I know personally as the elder statesman in the group. You know, I don't know that I want to travel as much as we have
Understood.
over the years, or I want it to be only when it feels that I'm most passionate about it, because then I think I can give my all to it.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, we'd love to continue exploring new avenues of music, and then even helping other young and upcoming artists.
Yes.
I think that's the legacy.
Reality TV show.
Reality TV show, all those kinds of things,
Yeah.
that allow others to gain momentum and glean passion from what it is you do.
Yeah.
Sure. And now we're going to get ready for this in-studio a cappella performance.
What? We got six
That
cats.
the host is going to do. The host is so inspired. The host is
All right,
so
you all ready?
Mark's
inspired.
quite an arranger.
I got your back up. I got your back up.
No. You just stepped out and lead, bro.
Just put the karaoke screen up so I know.
See how you just stepped into that, bro?
There you
I
go.
did.
I'm
See,
trying
we
to
gonna
put this
lead,
into it.
and he's
I
gonna do
did.
a whole
You tried to
acapella
put
show.
LeBron on Draymond. Trying to give me technical.
Yes, indeed. Listen, we're having a ball. We're here at eLife Media, and we're interviewing two members of the Take Six organization, the group that was birthed at Oakwood College, Oakwood University now, released their first album in 1988. We're together since 1981.
Right. Well, actually, in like the fall of '80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
1980. So you all have been together. That's good. It's good to just have friends that long.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
You all have worked together that long.
Yes, amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now I've got one other question, and I'm gonna. I know you guys are busy, and you got to get where you got to go. But I just wanted to find out, how has what you're doing now changed because of all of this, because of, you know, the YouTube, and because of everything that's out there? Is there an aspect of the business? Is there an aspect of the industry? Is there an aspect of what you do that has changed? You know, when you all did your first album, did they have videos back then? Were they doing?
Oh, they had videos.
They had videos.
Yes, they did.
And those are the,
You made it sound
those are the
like-
best ones.
Yeah, did they have TV?
Right.
Was your video in black and white?
I mean, you all already said there was no cell phones back then. I was like,
Right.
wow.
You know, I think the biggest change for us, and I think every artist can attest to this, is when you first start out, you don't know anything yet. You know, as you continue being in this business, you learn so much. And so I think that that's a wonderful thing, because now you're operating in experience.
Right.
Okay.
You know, and even
Veterans.
the things that we grew up learning in church and whatnot, you don't know those things
Sure.
till you really experience what life is about.
Say that,
You
Claude.
know? And once you do that, then you can be more powerful on stage. You can be more powerful off the stage.
Yes.
You know, I think those are the things that have changed.
What about the
Yes.
appeal? You know, there was a time when I thought the only people listening to you all look like me. You know, how is that? You know, who's your audience now?
Well, see, that was a misconception from the get.
Beginning, okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Mark.
Well, I grew up in
Yeah.
Southeast, you know, so yeah.
We have listeners all over the world, and all walks of life, all kinds of people. It's the people that listen to us. Some of them we don't even realize
Sure.
are listening, and that's a good thing. That's a good
I
thing.
mean, yeah,
you know.
case in point. I mean, we've been going to Japan every year since 1989.
Yeah, they have a huge following in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, that's one of our
Huge.
biggest markets. We go to South America. We go all over Europe. We've been to China. We've been
Africa. We've been-
Africa.
yeah.
So it's been really
Eastern
really
Europe.
cool to
Yeah.
see and hear. We went to Cuba.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
saw
there's
that.
First
I-
people
I
in
read that
Cuba.
article.
Wow.
They were the first
We were-
group
Yep.
after the
Sanctioned by
embargo
the-
was lifted to go to Cuba. The first group.
Wow.
And played to a 5,000
people.
seat auditorium, the Karl Marx Theater.
Yeah.
The Karl Marx
Karl
Singing
Marx.
gospel up in
Is
the
that
Karl
crazy?
Marx.
Singing gospel
Right.
in the Karl
And
Marx
to
Theater.
people who
Filled 5,000.
who knew
Wow.
our music.
Wow.
That's what's crazy. There were a lot of people down there who knew our music from like the first album, because they had people who lived in Miami or other
And they would
places
just get
who
it to
got
y'all
our
somehow,
music to
yeah.
them.
Wow.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's right. And you know, the story is Christian he was delayed in getting there, so our show was delayed. It was supposed to start at a certain time. I think it was like 9.
Supposed to start at 9, started
and
around 11.
and nobody,
Nobody
left.
left.
Wow.
They stayed there,
That's
and we
nice.
had a blast
Wow.
in Cuba. How about that? Look at God.
Yeah, absolutely. And the out of the music that you've produced, what do you consider like this is my favorite of what it is that we've created?
Wow. It changes every day.
Okay.
It changes every
That's
day.
good.
it's like we
That's
change.
good.
That's right. You know, we like. I have a hard time looking back.
Okay.
I like to keep moving forward, improving, coming up with new creative ideas. You know, that keeps, you know, it's like new blood. You know, so, you know, where there's certain things that we'll go back and listen to. Yeah, that was really good, but what are we going to do in the future? Let's create something new. So, you know.
Yeah,
Gotta
that's
keep it
great.
coming.
And with you all looking to teach and obviously to give people the wisdom that you all have in this industry, a question I have is there anybody out there now who you all can take credit for? You can say, you know what? I remember when we first saw him and we said, you know what? Yeah, let's introduce you to our manager.
Well, you know what? I think more than anything, we have been introduced to people who said, you know what? It's because of you that I started doing stuff. You know, people like Jacob Collier, who is this amazing young man out of the UK. He might be 20 years old now. Might be the most creative person on the planet.
Wow.
You know, people like that
never heard
who
of.
you find out were listening to you for the time they were in the crib.
Yeah.
You know, and there are plenty of other groups and people, even like Boys to Men, who we met before they became Boys to Men.
Okay.
You know,
that's
and then we
right.
worked with them last year on a doo-wop project that they're doing, and they just recall stories about listening to us when they were growing up. I remember being on a tour bus with Justin Timberlake,
That's right.
and he was singing, you know, Goldmine and
Okay.
other songs
That's
back
right.
to me. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't know.
Even recently, Usher did a video, a master class, and he was telling people that when he goes to listen to artists that will inspire him, he listens to us. We're one of the artists that he listens to. How about that?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's true.
You know,
It's
so
true.
you
It's
know, you
true.
just never know. You know, but we're just glad that what we've done has been strong enough and powerful enough where people will want to listen to it, glean from it, and hopefully get a whole dose of some Holy Spirit and
Amen.
what God wants
Amen.
There
in
we
their
go.
lives. You know.
There we go. Well, listen, like I said, I know you all are in town. You're busy. Did you all share with us why you're in town? Is that newsworthy? You all got something going on?
Oh,
that
well,
we
we're
need to
always
know? Do we
doing
need to
something.
show up anywhere?
Well, we came in town because we're doing a couple of private things.
Oh,
we
okay.
did a thing at Voice of America,
Okay.
and that was really, really cool. An interview and a small performance. And then we're performing on an awards banquet tomorrow. So you can't show up, my friend.
Okay. What about how long y'all gonna be in town? Because I'm about to
What if
call
I
up all my
disguise myself
friends.
as a Take Six former
Take
member?
7.
There
That
we
would be
go.
Take 7.
I'll be right there.
We're this is
Future.
former member.
Right.
Future member.
There you go. Now, if you all are going to be in town, look, you know, it wouldn't take long for us to fill up this, banquet hall we have behind us, and you all could. Why not take another check home?
Uh-oh.
We'll talk off the air.
Oh, I like that. He said another
My
check.
man, my man.
Any
I
closing remarks?
I did.
Please direct us to your websites and your phone numbers. and all the
Again,
rest of that.
our website is very simply take6.com. That's TAKE, the number 6.com. You can find us on Facebook. We're very active over there at Take 6 Official. You can find us on Twitter at Take 6 Official.
Like it.
Yes.
Like it.
Instagram, Take 6 Official. We all have our personal pages as well. You know, Mark Kibble, Claude McKnight, David Thomas.
Yeah. Hey, look out for us on Periscope too.
That's
because,
right.
You know,
That's
a lot of
right.
us are starting to share,
I'm gonna do that.
you know, live experiences
Yep.
on Periscope. I have one. I've done some in studio things so you can kind of see how things work.
Yeah.
Claude's on there all the time.
All the time.
He's
Okay.
a man. He's a media man.
Media
Okay.
man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's
Media
what's
man.
up. Okay.
And then where can they get the albums? You said
Yeah,
Walmart.
That's Walmart.
Walmart, iTunes.
iTunes,
You can order on
Amazon.
Amazon. You can go directly to the record companies. It's on Universal Records, so
Gotcha.
it's a huge company, but it's
Understood.
through Sonos, SONOS, ILS, and what's the other?
SRG.
SRG.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can find it there, and tell people about it. That's how stuff goes viral.
That's how it goes
Word
viral.
of mouth. If you like it, share it.
That's it.
And so you're saying, did you also say you need a producer to present you the reality TV show proposal?
I heard of this
We're looking
guy
for that.
Franklin Dent. I heard of him. I heard he's a beast.
You know, sometimes you put it out there,
He's-
and it happens.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
I heard he's a
Okay.
beast. I heard.
All right.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
There you go. Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor, to be so close to somebody who I was close to already, but we had never met. It's really an honor for you all to be in our space and to share this time with us. It means a lot. And I look forward to whether it's a reality TV show or whether you're going to be in the banquet hall on what day y'all leaving again?
I like it.
Or we're going to eat right now.
There it is. There it is. We set that up. We make that happen.
Yeah.
And again, this is the E-Life Media Network. We've been talking for the last hour to two members of the Take Six. Is it a band? Because I think band.
You
I think
can call us a
instruments.
Band, group,
Yeah.
Group,
whatever you
You
want
can call
to
us
say.
show,
They do vocal instruments.
With the cats.
ministry.
That's right.
Artists. There you go.
There you go.
That's what's up. Right here on E-Life Media. And again, this is just a little bit of what it is that we do and plan on doing as we continue to grow and connect up. And you'll be here. You will be here, and we will have the performance of Take Six live here at Everlasting Life under
heard it
the
here
auspices
first.
of E-Life Media.
This dude right here.
Let's rock and roll. And I'm cutting checks.
He's going
What's up?
cutting checks
We-
and
All right,
blowing
Mark,
on
let's
the
go
mic.
over there and do a duet like that.
Until next time, folks, stay healthy
God
and
bless
vibrant. God bless you.
We love you.
Yes, indeed.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh.